Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be looking at style and tone as part of the SAT Writing and Language Review. As always, we're going to be looking at 5 questions. We're going to explain each of them and look at the intricacies of this topic to help you ace the SAT writing section. If you like these videos or found them informative, please be sure to like and subscribe. And with that, let's get started on our first question. Here it is. For the sake of rhetorical flourish, the author wants to use the same word as 2 different parts of speech. Which choice best accomplishes this goal? She did not hate many things, although she disliked the very act of hating things. And our answer choices are no change, so we keep that. Although she hated that emotion, except for that very emotion, and except for hate itself. Saying the author wants to use the same word as 2 different parts of speech. So when we see this, she did not hate many things, it makes sense that if the word that's going to be repeated is something like hate, right? Because that is what the main message of this part is saying right here. So we can say, well, we see in answer choice D, we have the word hate. That's the only one that has the word hate in it. So if we pick this one, we say, she did not hate many things except for hate itself. Right? That uses the word in 2 different parts of speech. Hate as in the action of hate, and then hate as in the noun, as in the actual idea of hate. And then that has the 2 different parts of speech, and it does seem to flow very nicely, which has this rhetorical flourish. So that's going to be our answer, and let's move on to the next question. All right. Question 2. The author wants to use irony in order to communicate disapproval of the bad weather. Which choice best accomplishes this goal? According to the weather station, we should expect rain, hail, and an assortment of small pets to descend from the sky later this afternoon. Well, isn't that just a lovely forecast? Well, we're trying to find irony to communicate disapproval, so it's going to be the opposite of saying it's a horrible forecast, so it should be some kind of good forecast, like a lovely forecast, right? That seems to work. Right now, our other answer choice is rocky. That doesn't use irony. Fragile, also not irony. Unpromising. All 3 of these answer choices right here are just expressing the idea that it's bad, which it is, but we're trying to use irony. We're trying to say the opposite, which is why answer choice A is our answer. Let's keep going. For the sake of rhetorical effect, the writer wants to maintain the pattern of repeating words derived from the same root. Which choice best accomplishes this goal? We're given attain the unattainable, conquer the unconquerable. Well, what can we see here? We want to have the same root word essentially. So clasp the unreachable, that doesn't seem to work, right? Grasp what is out of reach? Nope. Reach what can't be grasped? Also no. Reach the unreachable, right? That keeps this rhetorical pattern, right? You're reaching what cannot be reached. You're attaining what cannot be attained. You're conquering what cannot be conquered. That maintains this pattern, so that's our answer. Let's keep going. Which choice best maintains the intent and pattern of the sentence? You must be brave without foolhardiness, strong without violence, decisive with arrogance. Well, this whole thing is talking about without, right? So you need it without. So you're not going to have with in here. So we can cross out these 2 choices that use the word with. And I have decisive without arrogance and arrogant without decisiveness. Well, the intent is saying it's a good word first, and then followed by the negative connotation word, and then positive connotation, negative connotation. So positive and then negative. Positive connotation is decisive, negative connotation is arrogance. So it's going to be decisive and arrogance. So decisive without arrogance is going to be our answer. And we can move on to the next question. Which choice most effectively maintains the stylistic pattern established earlier in the paragraph? We shall wander the cobbled streets of Paris under the glittery moon. We shall swim the length of the Nile with the hippos and crocodiles. Alright, well, I see those 2 sentences, and before we read the last sentence, we should note that it says we shall at the beginning. So I'm already thinking that since we're asked to maintain the stylistic pattern, it's going to start with we shall. Now our answer that starts with we shall is only answer choice C. Let's see if it works. We shall scale Mount Fuji at sunrise and pretend we are alone in the world. That seems to flow with the rest of this. It has the same stylistic pattern, so that's our answer. Alright, so as you can see in this topic, most of the ideas that we have in this topic are simply taking what the question gives us and taking what the prompt gives us and figuring out some way to continue that idea, to continue a neutral tone or a positive tone, to continue a pattern that's already been started. That's really all there is for this topic, and I'll see you next time.